Hi guys, welcome back to Creative Cutie, and if you're new, welcome. Today I'm going to be reading a book that I wrote. I haven't finished it yet, but I will be taking it to my school because my library teacher said I can bring it to the school so kids can read it. Okay, All Because of a Wish is what it's called. It was pitch dark when I noticed Scarlett looking over at me. March screeched while he's wondering why she's there. Wait, before I start reading, the characters in this book is Mom, Dad, Scarlett, Mark, and Allie. And a shopkeeper, I'm pretty sure. It was pitch dark when I noticed Scarlett looking over me. Mark screeched while she was wondering why she's there. Want to go outside? Scarlett whispered. No, it's so late, Mark quietly yelled. But Scarlett didn't care and pulled him up and out of bed. Now they are outside. Why are we here? Mark said. I found something yesterday, said Scarlett. Okay, show me. Chapter 2. Where is she going? Scarlett led me outside. I was still wondering where we were going. Where are we going? Said Scarlett. Where are we going, Scarlett? Mark asked. You'll see soon, Scarlett said. They kept walking through their neighborhood forest. We're here, said Scarlett. A barn? Why are we here? Mark said. Follow me, said Scarlett. They walked inside. There's so many photos, Mark said. Then Scarlett saw a beautiful night sky in one of the photos. Mark, that's so pretty. I wish I was there, said Scarlett. Suddenly, the barn moved like something picked it up. What happened? Said Mark. I don't know, said Scarlett. Chapter 3. What's going on? Suddenly, a girl appeared. Hello, fellow humans. You are back in time, said Allie. Who are you exactly? Mark said Mark. I'm Allie, said Allie. I have a mission for you both, said Allie. Like what? Said Mark. Yeah, what? Said Scarlett. There is a radioactive explosion gonna happen in the next 48 hours. I need to stop it from happening, said Allie. How? But Allie disappeared. Well, it looks like we're gonna figure this out on our own, said Scarlett. Yeah, but how are we gonna stop this mess from happening, said Mark. I don't know, but we need to find out because we only have the next 48 hours until this disaster happens, said Scarlett. Yeah, but let's go so we don't waste most of our time, said Mark. What are we waiting for? Let's go, said Scarlett. Chapter 4. Let's do this. The two started looking around the area. Wait, I think I've seen this place in a book, but I forgot what this place is called, said Mark. We're going to need to remember what it's called because now I'm questioning my life decisions, said Scarlett. By the way, what did Allie mean when she said that there's going to be a radioactive explosion going to happen? This place looks beautiful and calm, said Mark. Yeah, I agree, said Scarlett. Then Mark saw some shops with the Italian flag on it. Scarlett, this place is Italy. Then Mark points at the flag on the shop. Whoa, it didn't take us that long to figure out, said Scarlett. They were both walking when Mark felt something in his pocket. Hey, Scarlett, I think I have something in my pocket, said Mark. Then look inside of your pocket, said Scarlett. All right. Mark then looked inside of his pocket and saw a small phone. So what's in there? Scarlett wondered. I think it's a phone, said Mark. Then take it out of your pocket and see if it's a phone, said Scarlett. He pulled it out of his pocket and they figured out it was a phone. Oh my God, it's a phone, said Mark. Well, will it help us try to stop this, said Scarlett. Maybe, said Mark. There is a flashlight on it, said Mark. Okay, I guess that will help, said Scarlett. Will that phone help us? We have to find a map because this phone doesn't have maps as an app, said Mark. Wait, we can ask one of the shopkeepers for one, said Scarlett. Brilliant, Scarlett, said Mark. You wouldn't have done it without me, said Scarlett. Yeah, but you led us into this mess, said Mark. Forget that. Let's go to the shop now, said Scarlett. And they then walked into the nearest shop and asked, and luckily they gave them one. Yes, we did it, said Mark. We still haven't finished our mission, said Scarlett. You've got a point, said Mark. They looked at the map and Scarlett had an idea. We have to look for a power plant. It keeps radioactive air in it, said Scarlett. So we can look for a power plant, said Mark. They looked at the map and didn't see it. It's getting late. We need rest to complete this mission, said Scarlett. Allie then appeared. Here is a key card to a motel that you two can rest at, said Allie. Thanks, said Scarlett and Mark. Chapter 7. The mission's going great. They walked to a bus and took them to their location. They made it to their room. Finally, we're here. I'm so tired, said Mark. Me too, said Scarlett. They went to bed and slept well. Wake up, Mark, said Scarlett. Ugh, I don't want to get up. I don't want to, said Mark. Get up, said Scarlett. Ugh, fine, said Mark. I'm tired too, said Scarlett. Now they are walking to the city to find out how they're going to stop this explosion because they only have 34 hours left. Yes, guys, that's where I stopped at. It's kind of getting juicy, but I wrote this at school. I somehow put my school account into my iPad so it works. So yeah, if you want more of it, I'll update you when I'm writing more. And yeah, that's all for today. Bye.